I'm living with my parents until it's time for The Walking Dead IRL. Do you have a spiked bat? DJ Wheat, who worked at Twitch, a guy I really respect, look up to. He dressed up as the guy from Walking Dead, Negan, I think. And he had the leather jacket and the spiked bat, and he wore it at Twitch office. But then he kept the spiked bat by his desk. For like months. He like would wave around this spiked bat at the office. Yeah, the barbed wire. And I was like, all right, you're really keeping it. Which I thought was interesting. Just in case. Yeah, just in case. Really ran a tight ship. Nobody ever pissed him off. Was it real? No, it was not. No, bro. He didn't fucking wrap barbed wire on a bat and fucking try to kill people, dude. No one ever asked for a raise. Maybe it's been far enough that I can tell this. It's not a huge deal, but so I was on one team. This is early on at Twitch before I got promoted. I was stuck on this team kind of managing the front page. This is like the first thing I did. I was like probably 22. I was managing the front page of Twitch. So it's a really boring job. All it is basically like using a Google Calendar. The whole thing was hot patched together. It was, I mean, Twitch ran on paper clips and glue, dude. And it was like all of the streams that are featured on the front page. I'll show you right now. So this shit right here, like this is ran on a Google Calendar, but that had 60,000 entries. It was like every minute of every day, 5 times a day was 5 entries on a Google Calendar. And so, we would like organizing it to make whatever the fuck we wanted be promoted. And the idea was to have like a wide breadth of content so that new people finding out about Twitch would be like, oh, there's so much cool shit here. And we could offer it as an incentive. So let's say you're like a partner who, wants to feel connected or like a brand who just started using Twitch. We would throw them front page. They get bonus viewership. That was the idea. And I hated the job. And I knew that Marcus, aka DJ Wheat, was like starting a new team within Twitch to focus on, original content and stuff like that. So secretly, without telling my boss, who I love my boss, but I just didn't like the job at the time, I made a fucking like internal resume and I booked a meeting with Marcus and I sat down with him and I showed him this and I said, hey, I want to leave this team and join your team. And I know what that means and yada, yada, yada. And I walked him through it and I explained like, I'm going to be able to do all this. So yeah, so I said, I want to join your team. And he thinks about it. He looks at the resume and he goes, we've worked together on Twitch Weekly and stuff. And he's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And he like shakes my hand and he's like, all right, we're going to get it done. And then that was the last I ever heard about it. Just nothing ever happened. wait. Like, no, Otto says he forgore. I think he legitimately forgore. I think he legitimately, like, I don't know, made a note or something and then just didn't do the fucking HR stuff and then nothing ever happened. Like, he didn't circle back and we just kept doing the show and then I got promoted and I didn't care anymore, so I never asked. But it was crazy. We just never happened. And, yeah, I remember thinking, like, what do I do next? Because his area was in a different part of the office. So I was like, we shook hands and everything. I was like, all right, well, next day, do I start sitting over there? And I just did it. And then nothing happened. And then we just kept going. It was crazy. It was just like, I remember thinking so much about it. And I'm pretty sure he didn't think about it at all. Why didn't you say anything? Well, at first I was like, I'm sure he'll have a next step. Like, he's going to talk to me, right? So I just didn't say anything for a couple of weeks. And then by then it was weird to say something. So I didn't. And then I just kept doing my job. And then I got promoted and then I have to work on the front page anymore. So, what was your reason for not talking to your boss first? Probably youth and inexperience. What I should have done is tell my boss, hey, I love working for you. I don't like the front page. Give me something else. I didn't do that. I just waited. And then luckily it worked out for me.